Up first this evening, Jamaica recorded an additional 27 cases of COVID-19 today, pushing the country's total to 223. That information was revealed at a virtual Jamaica House press briefing, which is now underway. Now, our reporter Dwayne Anderson has been listening in and now joins us live. Dwayne, what's the latest?
Thank you, Herman. So I was listening to the press conference a short while ago, and the Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton, announced that the number of cases in Jamaica have surged over 200, and those cases are linked to the Alorica BPO in Portmore St. Catherine. Let's take a listen at what he had to say.
The number of confirmed COVID-19 cases has risen to 223. Included in those numbers are 27 new cases. Of those 27, 19 are females, 8 are males, and 26 of the new cases are linked to the Portmore workplace cluster. Part of the challenge that we face, public health that is that these individuals who work within that cluster, that BPO cluster, are relatively young. They have intergenerational living arrangements. They live with their parents or their grandparents, and they are very mobile. As a consequence, the health authorities who are doing the contact tracing are challenged to keep them quarantined without the risk of spreading the virus to their family members and close contacts. And because of that, we have had to make some alternative arrangements, which you will elaborate on that, Prime Minister, which the Prime Minister will. Okay, fine. So over the last few days, the ministry, in discussions with the Prime Minister and other cabinet colleagues, took the decision that it would be better to extract these individuals from the environment in which they live, the communities in which they live, and to place them in a more controlled quarantine and isolation setting, depending on their particular status, whether they're positive or not, whether they're asymptomatic or not, whether they're ill or showing signs of major illness and require hospital care or not. That process has started today. We have secured, up to this point, some 500 rooms in 3 facilities.
So with that jump to 223, the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, announced a raft of new policies to control the spread of the disease, among them a clampdown on BPOs.
So they have 24 hours, basically 24 hours notice, to close their operations for a period of 14 days. Now, I want the country to understand that this was not an easy decision. The same people who will tell you that you must close the BPO are the same people who will quarrel with you and say people who used to work in the BPO are starving and you're not providing for them. Again, there is no easy.
So there will be exemptions to the restrictions on the BPOs, and those will be closely monitored by a team, included in that team is the Ministry of Health.
That the critical services, those that support the telecommunications, the banking, and the logistics and shipping, particularly those related to our operations as a country, that we will make exemptions and provisions for their operations, but those will be closely regulated.
Now, as for Jamaicans overseas who want to come home, a structured re-entry will be put in place. And now, our news center, we have been getting lots of reports from Jamaicans, including some out at sea, who want to come home. The Prime Minister said he has heard the cries and he will be addressing it.
Our borders will remain closed to the 31st of May 2020. However, this will be subject to controlled re-entry of Jamaicans in accordance with established protocols. Previously, when we closed the border, we allowed limited re-entry via a discretionary application through to the Minister of National Security and then the approval of Cabinet. Now we will have a protocol in place. The protocol has been established, and that protocol will control the re-entry of Jamaicans.
Now the lockdown in St. Catherine will continue for another 14 days, and persons will remember that St. Catherine had that case at the Alorica, which started a large spread of cases. So the Prime Minister outlined there that they will be clamping down on the BPOs, and the team from the Ministry of Health will be put in place to deal with that. But he also outlined that additional shopping days will be put in place for the people of St. Catherine. These 4 days are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, as for the island-wide curfew, that will go on also for another 14 days starting this Wednesday. However, the times for that will be from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. daily. Herman?
All right, thank you very much, Dwayne.